The possibility of one day having a passive dividend income stream large enough to cover your expenses and enable you to retire is one of the greatest parts of dividend investing. However, it is unclear exactly when that day will arrive. Will it happen in a year or in 20 years? Are you making enough investments to generate the passive dividend income you'll need to reach this objective? Join me as we explore the fastest way to achieve your desired dividend income today. I'll also let you better grasp the amount of dividend income you can earn and see if you're on pace to meet your target by using some basic math. So make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you'll be updated whenever we upload new videos. It's free and you can always change your mind later on. And that way, you can also be easily notified whenever we upload new ideas on how to earn money. So it's a win-win. With that said, let's continue. Your long-term dividend income objective should be in accordance with your investing strategy. Everyone is aware that investing is a risky undertaking. However, there are elements of investing, and notably dividend investing, that you as the investor can influence to aid you in meeting your goals. You only need 3 pieces of information to anticipate your future dividend income. They are your present contribution amount, the dividend growth of your investments, and your desired dividend yield. The future dividend increase is the hardest piece of data to forecast that we require. Because we can't forecast what dividend increases different stocks or funds may declare in the future, it's the hardest to predict. Future business growth and historical dividend growth can both be used as general guidelines to forecast future dividend growth. I'll give you an illustration of how you can utilize these 3 pieces of data to predict your future dividend payments. We can determine what parameters will enable us to achieve our long-term objectives by altering your assumptions for these 3 factors. I'm going to choose a 20-year span of time for the first example. Assume we have 20 years to accomplish our targeted yearly dividend income target, which will aid in funding our retirement. A 3% dividend yield will serve as the baseline. A 3% dividend yield will therefore be applied to each contribution we make to this portfolio. Whatever happens after that, as long as it is within 3% of the beginning, is irrelevant. The companies or ETFs we invest in will need to boost dividend payouts by 8% yearly, as that is the desired dividend growth rate, which will be 8% annually. The dividend income from your dividend portfolio can expand in basically 3 different ways. The first is the dividend income generated as a result of your contributions. Assuming a 3% beginning dividend yield, our example involves a monthly contribution of $2,500 or an annual contribution of $30,000. This translates to dividend income from each year's contributions of $900 each year. Dividend reinvestment is the second way that we increase our dividend income. As dividend money from our portfolio starts to come in, we may reinvest it to start producing additional dividend income. Increases in dividends are the third and the last way to grow dividend income. Our dividend income grows as more companies and stocks declare larger dividend payments. Let's figure out the dividend income from the first year of our portfolio. If we make monthly contributions of $2,500 totaling $30,000 for the year, this will result in $900 in future annual dividend income at a starting dividend yield of 3%. Our portfolio dividend income will grow by $36 if we achieve our target 8% dividend increase for the year. The dividend income obtained through dividend reinvestment comes next. And as a direct result of reinvesting dividends, I am projecting $14.58 in extra dividend income for the year. These steps are used to calculate this sum. I add the dividend income from dividend growth and half the dividend income from portfolio contributions after taking the initial dividend amount for the year. Since we add money to the portfolio every month, it's possible that they won't produce the whole $900 in dividend income in the first year. I'm presuming they can produce half the anticipated dividend income in year 1 to make the computation simpler. The predicted annual dividend income that the portfolio will produce from this point forward is $950.58 when the 3 dividend income variables are added together. After that, we may add the additional dividend income from contributions, dividend growth, dividend reinvestment, and so forth for the 20 years in this case, using this prediction as the starting dividend income amount for year number 2. At first, our contributions account for the majority of the growth in our yearly dividend income. But by year 10, the growth in our dividend income due to dividend growth outweighs the growth due to contributions. Since we make a fixed contribution to the portfolio each year, the dividend income from our contributions is set at $900 per year in this example. We invest these contributions at a starting dividend yield of 3% to the dividend income that is increased each year by dividend increases and dividend reinvestment. Both begin modestly before picking up speed over time. In year 17, dividend income increase due to dividend reinvestment outpaces dividend income growth, resulting from our annual contributions. The portfolio's anticipated final dividend income in this case is slightly under $43,000 annually after year 20. We may thus anticipate this portfolio to, at the very least, provide this amount of dividend income each year moving forward. Furthermore, the additional dividend income for year 20 is $5,317.54, or little more than 12% of the total predicted annual dividend income. To provide a point of reference, the $950.58 in dividend income from year 1 is only around 2.2% of the total predicted annual dividend income. Thus, as you can see, our dividend income is increasing more quickly each year than it did the year before. Additionally, this growth is closely tied to the asset dividend increases and dividend reinvestment. Time is your strongest ally for dividend growth. Of the $43 in future dividend income, 47% will come from dividend increases, 34% will come from our contributions to the portfolio, and the remaining 19% will come through dividend reinvestment. Therefore, sources other than our actual portfolio contributions accounted for around 66% of our dividend income. This emphasizes the significance of dividend reinvestment and the need to recognize the long-term impact of dividend increases. Before we proceed, feel free to share your own experiences while navigating through the world of dividend investing. And what valuable lesson have you learned so far? Once you're done, let's continue. Now, let's take a look at this portfolio's growth over the following 20 years, as well as our hypothetical retirement. We would now be retired, thus we are no longer making financial contributions to this portfolio. We are using the dividend income generated by our portfolio to support our lifestyle because our dividend income won't increase as a result of contributions. Therefore, dividend reinvestment will no longer result in growth. As a result, dividend hikes will be the only way for our dividend income to expand. Over the next 20 years, our expected annual dividend income rises from $46,000 in year 21 to almost $200,000 in year 40 if we assume a portfolio-wide 8% annual dividend increase. Due to our dividend income more than quadrupling over 20 years, this illustrates the true power of dividend increases. This can help retirees' incomes not just keep up with, but ideally exceed inflation. It can therefore raise your quality of life each year and enable you to take more pleasure in your time. You might not be able to retire on $43,000 in dividend income though, or you could need it to complement other retirement income. After changing the dividend yield and dividend growth from 3 and 8% to 5%, we ended year 20 with a projected annual dividend income of roughly $51,000. That is a significant increase in dividend income of $8,000 per year. This annual dividend income's composition changes along with how it was obtained. The majority of our dividend income in the previous case comes from dividend hikes. However, in this case, only around 29% of the total yearly dividend income is attributed to dividend increases. The percentage of dividend revenue received via reinvestment has increased to roughly 30%, and our contributions now make up the majority of the yearly dividend income at about 41%. This split is crucial because, as you may recall from the previous example, it was the dividend increases that alone increased our yearly dividend income every year after we retired. Therefore, even though you would begin your retirement with a higher initial dividend yield in the previous example, dividend income would grow more slowly in the years ahead, supposing a sustained 5% annual dividend increase for the portfolio. Instead, we could anticipate our dividend income to multiply by about 1.5 times, from $53,000 to $135,000 over the following 20 years. If you remember, our retirement dividend income more than quadrupled under the prior dividend yield and dividend growth projections, and the ultimate annual dividend income in your 40s would have been close to $200,000 as compared to only approximately $135,000 in the current example. What matters most in the end is the picture you feel most at ease with. It might be harder to carry out all of this consistently, but to take advantage of the compounding, we need to have a mindset that is more centered on dividend growth and the promise of exponential growth through compounding, as well as a considerable amount of time ahead of us. I realize that not everyone is in the same situation or even shares the same mindset, but I hope that you may employ this example to develop a strategy for your own path into dividend investing. It's fun to fiddle with the numbers until you discover the ideal balance between dividend yield and dividend growth. Thanks for watching. I hope you learned something useful today. And if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you'll be updated whenever we upload new videos. Till the next one, goodbye.